Hey everyone, welcome back. I figured, you guys have asked, Biggs, what's happening with the Jungle Riparium wall? Not much. But no, truth be told, lots of stuff's been happening. Maybe the title of this video is How Not to Build a Jungle Riparium Wall, or Don't Listen to Biggs about if you're going to build a Jungle Riparium Wall. Because I'm going to show you where we're at right now. You guys are going to get a laugh out of this. And it's okay if you laugh at me. I'm totally cool with that because I've been laughing at myself through the whole process. Let's take a peek. All right, so you guys know that's the space. We've got the tank, we've got the filters, we've got everything to do. All we're waiting on really is the jungle wall, and then we've got to build that box that we were talking about. Now this stuff showed up, and you guys have probably seen it already in some of the video already, and I'd intended on using this stuff. Now I'm not certain, maybe I kind of forgot about it midway, got excited, kept going, and well, let's take a peek. So we've got all the different pots and everything ready to go. This is an 8-inch nursery pot. It's a nice rigid wall nursery pot. I'm probably going to take a lot of the bottom out of the pot and probably put something like an egg crate to give it more drainage, kind of something like this. Because I definitely do not, with a misting system, do want these plants to get overly saturated with water. So we're looking at, we'll probably be putting one of the pots kind of there. Now you have to remember that there is a planter box that's going to be here, but down about a foot. That's going to be full of plant growth. So I want to make sure that I'm not shadowing it too much. That's why I'm not going to go and put plants all along here, because there will be plants basically here. But I want to be able to have a couple of larger plants, so I'll probably put one of these kind of over in the corner somewhere about here. So it's going to give me enough room for growth for a nice tall plant that'll still stay confined within here. But it also doesn't overshadow the fact that there's going to be a plant basically right here. Then I have several different sizes of these net pots, ranging from a 3.5 inch to a 5 inch to a 6 inch. And these can all be placed in different areas, such as here. And then they'll be completely concealed with doing foam and different things. Now the first step, before we're going to get started, is I'm going to be using poultry netting. It's a metal product. It's called poultry netting. It's chicken wire. It's a very light, it's a very malleable, easy to work with wire. So we're going to be using that. We're going to be using some galvanized strapping. The strapping, what we're going to do is I'm going to take that pot, because I want to make sure that when I build everything and put all the foam wall, that once all this jungle plants start just taking off with the high-end lighting and the misting system and the perfect conditions, that the weight of the plants is still going to stay on the wall. I don't want it to, because all these plants are going to attach to the foam and attach to all these different things, and then eventually the weight of them could pull it all forward and rip it off the wall, rip it off of this wall. So I want to make sure that everything stays. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be strapping the pots in place with some stainless steel screws. We're going to wrap the pot in 1 or 2 places, and we're going to actually attach it to the wood itself. We're going to do that with all the pots, and then we're also going to take the chicken wire. This is 24 inch by 25 feet. This is 4 feet tall. So I've got about 12 feet to work with in about a 5.5 foot space times 2, meaning I've got 2 feet for the bottom and I got 2 feet for the top. And the nice thing about this is you can cut a piece, say I'm going to cut it, I'll cut it in half, so I'll cut it into 6 foot lengths. The bottom, I want this wall to be a completely uneven, natural looking wall. I could go and put cork and all sorts of other things, that some of the things we've talked about, but I want water to kind of drain down in different ways and find different pockets. But all the water invariably always goes down into those boxes, which will drain into the aquarium. And this stuff here is almost like working with like a paper mache. I can stretch it out, attach it in one spot, and then kind of crinkle it and wrap it around a pot. And then once we go and apply the foam and everything, the foam, this actually adds structure. Similar to what you would use is using things like rebar when you're making things out of concrete. It gives it that extra structure and something to hold it all together. And then pieces of this, when it's attached, I will actually use that metal strapping and attach this in different places to the wall strategically to give the whole thing is all tie it all in together. Okay, I think you'll all start getting the vision. You know, it looks messy, but you know, you can see that all this is going to be support for that foam. It's got lots of different textures and stuff. It's kind of hard to show it on camera, but it's got all sorts of different textures that come away from the wall. All the pots are kind of wrapped, but they're still open at the top. We'll have to put the drainage in place underneath, as we talked about. This is the state of this absolutely insane undertaking. Now, the project started out, as you guys will see in all the little video snippets and stuff like that, it started out with a good plan, and then it just kind of got expensive, and it kind of went on forever. And I've set myself for literally a week or a month worth of peeling off of the foam to be able to get to the actual wall that we need to before we do the second part, which is all the coating. Had we done this with that Hygralon, this process would have been done and probably planted by now. But let's take a quick closer look. For any of you that have done any of these sort of projects already, I'm sure you can probably grasp how many cans of spray foam are on this wall. I have one more can of spray foam, and the one thing I want to do is I want to go through each of the areas that has a flower pot and make certain that inside the flower pot, that no matter where water will come, it won't touch the actual raw wood. So I'm going to the flower pot, I want it to drip and eventually wear away at the finish of the raw wood. The raw wood was actually sealed with several coats of good quality Varathane, but still I want to make sure it's nice and sealed. Okay, doing this type of a project, when it takes the time to go and actually get all that shiny part of that foam off, you can use all sorts of tools. For large, smaller projects, I just use my hands and I kind of rip the parts off and then work at it a little bit at a time until I can get down to what I like. But when I'm dealing on something on this large scale and I just want to get that outside layer off really, really quick, a paint scraper is an awesome quick tool. Well, you can see it's a lot of work ahead, but that's what cool projects always end up being. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the update. I'm going to get back to it. Cheers.